Before designing anything in the tablet edition of Canvas Workspace, you will need to know how to perform some basic operations. This short lecture will cover these and will include selecting, moving, resizing and rotating shapes. In the tablet edition, it is important to note that there are no keyboard shortcuts. All operations are therefore completed through direct selection or menu-based commands. Let's take a look at what that means and break it down. First, selecting objects. There are two ways to select objects. One is to tap on the shape, and this will apply the bounding box with all the control handles. The other is to drag a selection box. So you would tap and hold your finger on screen and drag the box until it hits another shape. This is the same if you want to select multiple objects. So you would tap and drag until it hits all of the objects that you want to select. When selecting multiple objects, the bounding box doesn't appear until those objects are grouped. I will show you grouping and ungrouping along with welding in a lecture later in this course. Let's now take a look at moving a shape. After selecting it, you would tap and hold your finger down and move the object around on screen. The selection and moving of objects is the same for any shape from any source. So tap to select, tap and drag to move it around screen. To resize an object, we use the control handles. Tap the object to select it, and that activates the bounding box with the controls. Each of these blue dots represents a control handle. To stretch an object, we use either the north, south, east or west points. To maintain the aspect ratio, so the height and width changed together, we would use any one of the corner points. So again, you tap and drag. This is the same for any shape from any source. There is another way to resize an object, and that's using the Properties panel. So with an object selected, we go down here to this icon, tap on it to open the Properties dialog box, and then we can change the size using either of these text entry boxes. By default, the aspect ratio lock is on. However, if you wish to change the width or height independently, you would deselect this by tapping in that box. You can use the plus or minus buttons as well to change in increments. If you wish to move the mat around without moving any of the shapes, use the pan tool, that's the little hand icon. To get back to selecting shapes, tap on the select icon. When we want to rotate a shape, we would use the green handle at the top of the shape. If we want to rotate a shape by a particular angle, we would need to go into the Properties dialog box and use the rotation option here. If you've made a change and you want to undo it, you have the undo icon at the bottom.